Good evening everyone and welcome to TTML Division 2. We are here for round 6 of the championship as we take in the Austrian Grand Prix from the Styrian mountain range and at the Red Bull Ring, of course, here in Austria. Good evening everyone, I am James Hay, going to be taking to the stream as your lead commentator here tonight, and joining me in the commentary box for the first time, it's been a week of first I think in TTML, it is Mr. Ivor Bryn, Mike. And Mike, we are here tonight, obviously, first commentary. What's your expectations tonight?
I am doing fantastic, and expectations tonight, I think we're going to see a lot of overtaking. This track just promotes good racing. Yeah,
it's going to be really interesting to see, I think, in terms of the overtaking. We saw quite a lot of overtaking last night, of course, in the Formula 2s around Britain, and also on Tuesday night in Division 1, where myself and Luke Etheridge commentated you through that one. Kieran McGinley, I'm glad to report, is not back actually here tonight. I was just checking within the lobby there. Sadly, no graphics as well, because Tom has been called to work. I'm sure he will watch on later on, so Tom, we are thinking about you. Very much hard at work until 10 o'clock in the evening there in the Netherlands. But we are a couple of minutes away from the beginning of tonight. Let me take you through then what happened last week. It was M. Short who took the win in Canada, Gary in second, Scuba in third. So British first and an Irish second and third. What does that do to the standings? Well, M. Short does lead on 114 points, with Scuba in second on 100 and Wesker in third on 99 points. 15 points separating the top three out on track. Then, it's pretty much of who's who, to be honest, further down the field. Gary in fourth on 60 points, with Matt Tibos in fifth on 59, Sway in sixth on 55, Dan Morris in seventh on 54, Matter in eighth on 53, Adam Acko in ninth on 51, and Kyle in 10th on 45. That's what, 15 points separating 4th to 10th? It is so close in that mid-pack.
It is unbelievably close there, and obviously, like last week, M. Short done another fantastic job. Considering he missed Australia, he has been on fire, and definitely the guy that I'm keeping my eyes on as the man to beat here.
Yeah, it is going to be fantastic. I think obviously M. Short, as you say, brilliant win last time out in Canada, really drove the race to absolute perfection. Again, I think he's here tonight. There he is, he's in the lobby, which is good to see. We have got 17 drivers as well within the lobby about to do battle. Looking down the rest of the field as well, Jake Hall in 11th on 43, Kieran McGinley in 12th, the reserve on 42 points, Powdy in 13th on 38, AJ in 14th on 36. We've got a tie for 15th with Patrick and Corboy on 35 points. Then a three-way tie for 17th, Vic, Milmac, Maverick and Ginger all on 25 points and 17th, and Captain Chubbs in 20th on 23 points. The drivers are beginning to ready up. The constructors standings, McLaren lead on 154 with Alfa Romeo in second on 139, Racing Point in third on 135, Renault fourth on 112, Ferrari in fifth on 103, Williams in 6th on 96, Red Bull in 7th on 90, Haas in 8th on 68, AlphaTauri in 9th on 60, and Mercedes in 10th on 29 points. And again, with the constructors, to be honest, it is 19 points separating the top three constructors. How do you see it panning out tonight, with obviously the McLarens, the Alfa Romeos and the Racing Points being at the top?
Well, obviously, like, just both drivers need to do well here, because one mistake from one of them can really set them back in this constructors. That's how close it is at the moment.
Yeah, it is going to be fascinating, I think, both from a driver's standpoint and also from a constructor's standpoint, how we see the cars and the drivers do out on track here tonight. The 30-second countdown has begun. There's going to be no fancy introduction, however. But Mike, I'm going to turn it to you. Who are you predicting for top three in qualifying?
Ooh, okay, right. I think we may see Scuba on pole position here. And I'm going to go for M. Short and Captain Chubbs.
Interesting. Very interesting top three. So we'll see if that prediction, of course, does come right during the course of qualifying. But we are here, of course, at the Red Bull Ring. Let's take a look at the track map in question. 36 laps await the drivers. There's 18 minutes worth of qualifying with 3 DRS zones, of course. One down the start-finish straight, one up the hill in towards turn 3, and then one down the hill in towards Our 3 DRS detection points as well at those points out on track. Going to be fascinating. 4.3 kilometers in length in terms of lap distance, 155.4 kilometers in terms of race distance. And this track has been known for a lot of overtaking. Surely it's going to be the same tonight.
Absolutely. 3 DRS zones, it just promotes overtaking. From the run into turn 1, up to turn 3, down to turn 4. It's gonna be a train. I think we're gonna see a lot of trainage going on, and we may see a bit of changeable conditions, as I just looked at the weather there. And it's not looking great out there.
No, it does look very overcast, to be honest, and you've got to imagine these guys will probably go on a set of soft compounded tyres initially within the qualifying session. So obviously those tyres are not going to be operating at the warmest temperature as they can. Obviously anybody that goes on as mediums might set a better lap than some of those on a set of soft compounded tyres. I think we have got a Racing Point coming out the pits first, and it is Wesker, our P3 man in the championship. The home boy, actually. He is from Austria, so this is his home track, and this is going to be really intriguing to see. Will Wesker try and break M Short's run of consistent results, and will he also break Scuba's heart for second position in the championship? All to be revealed in the next 18 minutes worth of qualifying as Wesker sets us off on an outlap. And that was... Oh, hello? Are you still here?
Yeah, you might kind of lag for me there, so...
Oh.
I was just on board with Wesker, and he just stopped on turn 4 for some reason.
Yeah, very strange, I think, from Wesker. That's why I went. I thought my connection cut out, to be honest, but I saw him pull off to the right-hand side of the road. But luckily he hasn't. He's still going around there out on track. So I think it is a Williams, actually, that is now first out on track. And let me just find who that is. And it is a Williams, isn't it? It's Adamaco.
Adamaco.
I've just scrolled right past him. Adamaco now coming around the final corner, starting us off on the lap. Don't be worried about the yellow flags you see in Sector 3, but Adamaco now starting us off a lap here of the Red Bull Ring. Through turn 1, and then up towards the kink and the top of the hill at turns 2 and 3. This will be the highest point on the track for the drivers to really grasp a hold of. 15.9 through the first sector from Adamaco. We saw a 1 minute point 2 in qualifying in Division 1. Adamaco will be hoping he can set around that benchmark. But Adamaco now running down towards turn 4. Very tricky braking zone this. Brake after the 100 metre board. Tight turn into the car. Tight turn into the corner, I should say. And that was very nice from Adamaco as he now comes out through towards turn 6. An overtaking opportunity possibly around the outside there. So now Adamaco comes through the middle sector to 44.5. Not an electric final middle sector, but he now comes through into the final sector. Through turns 7 and 8, you'll ride on board with him as he flies up the hill towards turn 9, and then through the right-hander of turn 10 as well. Of course, Williams no longer a family-run team after today. Adamaco, though, about to come across the line. A 103.6. I think Claire and the Williams family will be very happy with that performance so far. But Gary's just gone quicker by 800ths of a second.
Yep, immediately beaten, and immediately beaten again by M Short with a 2.9. A fantastic lap from the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, Wesker coming in there in second as well, 103.1. Captain Chubbs in third. Nice lap from him. It does show, by the way, as Gary having the fastest lap, as Ginger has gone round through turn 1.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I thought I saw Alpha Tauri then in the wall, and it is Ginger.
Unfortunate. We did see a moment, I think it was from Darkbolt, if I'm not mistaken, in Division 1, where somebody lost it coming out of turn 1 and lost it onto the grass and pretty much killed their qualifying session off just then. Matt Tibbles has just gone third with a 103.2. First laps are coming in. Callboy to the line, goes 7th, 103.7. So he's only 8 tenths off the pace. He can find plenty of time. Sway across the line on a set of mediums. Fastest out of the medium runners, McMaverick on a 107.2, but Sway with a 104.4. out on track. Just seeing if there's anybody else coming towards the final couple of corners. Harry, I should say. I'm not going to butcher his name once again. The Mercedes man there down in 17th. He's invalidated his lap, but Scuba now is on a lap, running up the hill towards turns 9 and 10. And in fact, it looks like he's going to come into the pit lane.
Yeah, as Wesker picks up a 5 pitch grid penalty.
And that was a collision with J. Cole, was it, coming into the pit lane? Because I saw them both there when Scuba came in.
Wesker's been disqualified.
Wesker's been disqualified? This is very strange, to be honest. I'm not getting... Oh yeah, he's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So that is very, very strange indeed. So Wesker, who was P3 before he set that lap, is now out of the session. That is his qualifying done. Not sure why, but he's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
That is unbelievable, and I'm lost for words.
I'm absolutely speechless. I haven't seen anything like that before in Division 2. So Wesker obviously down there now in 17th. He's been disqualified from the session. Hopefully there might be a word from him within Discord about that. I'm sure he is not going to be the happiest man at all out on track, and especially because he is the home driver here tonight as well, the Austrian. He'll be hoping to try and really make up for it within the race. But what does that do to the championship? Well, M Short obviously out in front, currently in qualifying as we are about to approach the first third of qualifying as we are through. M Short leads, Tibble second, and Captain Chubbs in third. But Wesker down there in 17th, Scuba in the pit lane hasn't set a lap just yet in 14th. M Short and Scuba though, prime position I think for them to really gain here tonight, with Wesker being down at the back of the field.
Yeah, Wesker, he will have the opportunity to see about the strategy and that. You never know with the weather here. He will have that opportunity, but it's a massive blow for him because he's got a lot of traffic to get through. Yeah,
and the constructors as well. AJ obviously being his teammate, hasn't set a lap just yet. We have got a Haas coming around the final couple of corners. That might be Captain Chubbs coming around the final couple of corners. In fact, it's its teammate, it's Parody across the line to start off on a flying lap. Let's see what the Irishman can do. Do you want to take us through a lap?
Who are you on board with?
Parody, 15th.
Alright. So, Parody now coming up to this little left-hand kinker, turn 2, breaking that 100-metre board into turn 3, trying to look for the best exit possible as he gets a little bit squirrely on the traction zone out of turn 3, but DRS wide open now on the run down into turn 4, spotting his braking zone. Lovely, another little bit of a lock up there on the front right as he comes through turns 5. Spots the braking for turn 6. Very interesting place. You can go side by side there, and it's a very interesting place to overtake as you go through turn 7 and 8. Another little blast to another potential overtaking spot, but you wouldn't want to risk it here into turn 9, and finally through turns 10. Again on the curb on the exit, it keeps it all valid. Ooh. And we're at 3.4.
Yeah, nice lap that by the Irishman, goes 4th. Obviously Gary is on a lap, he's 2 tenths up actually coming around the final corner. He's going to be one of the next ones to come across the line. Captain Chubbs has gone 2nd as well. AJ now goes 2nd with a 103 flat, but Gary, who finished 2nd of course in Canada, goes 5th this time with a 103.3. Nice lap from him. Harry just came in behind as well, goes 6th with... Does he have left side end plate damage actually, Harry? No, that's my eyes. That is my eyesight completely going wrong there. Harry in 6th position with a 103.3, well, 103.4, but Adam Ackles just quickened up. Scuba, across the line, goes 3rd.
Pops it into 3rd. 8 thousandths of a second behind Heiju.
Yeah, AJ really looking good, I think, in that racing point. Obviously wanted to make up for Wesker's disqualification as well. We've got LRT Matter coming through the first sector. He's one of the next guys to probably come across the line. Very interesting to see how Sway and J. Cole get on as well. Sway's still on that medium compound of tyres. Actually, no, he's on a set of softs and he's 2 tenths up coming through the first sector. But there is a yellow flag, and I'm trying to pinpoint who that is. There's a Williams off. Is that Adamako by any chance?
Yeah, that's Adamako. Adamako just getting out of the way of Sway there at the top of turn 3. And Sway was actually purple in sector 1, so we'll see if he can carry this through. He comes up to the 2nd sector split now. Purple in sector 2 as well. This is going to be a good lap from the Red Bull from the looks of it.
Matter across the line, 104.2 goes 12th. Well, right on board with Sway because he's directly behind him, 7/10 of a second. Now improving in the middle sector. He looks as if he's going to improve well up the field. Doesn't run it wide out the final corner. Sway across the line. He goes 7th, 103.3. Nice lap, but he's in amongst that gang. Sway, Adamako, Harry, and Powdy. A 10th separating 7th down to 10th. One mistake can really cost you in qualifying. As we are halfway through qualifying, it's M Short on top, AJ second, Scuba in third. Your top 3 prediction, mind, is not going too badly.
I'm actually surprised myself. I never get the predictions right.
I know, Chubb's up in 4th there, Scuba 3rd. AJ is the only one that's knocking you out, to be honest with that. So not a bad prediction so far. He's better than me in terms of predicting stuff, honestly. But we are here as Khaled actually goes 5th, beautifully on board there, 103.2 as he came across the line. M Short on an outlap, currently quickest in our session so far. We're hoping to keep the same as he runs down towards turn 4. A terrible camera angle running down towards turn 4, but M Short out on top, AJ second, Scuba in third. Just trying to pinpoint, Maverick is 600th down through the first sector. Yeah, he's not going to improve, I don't think. He's coming into the pit lane. So the Mercedes in 13th. Oh, and actually, then he goes into the wall on pit entry.
That's very strange. You don't usually see that.
Very close indeed. He just lost it on the grass, it seems, and it carried the car out wide coming through the pit entry. It is an off-camber pit entry as well, remember, here in Austria. But the man of the moment, M Short, is now starting his lap through turn 1. Beautifully cut through turn 1. Not running 4 wheels over the track that I normally do within time trial. M Short now up the hill towards the kink at turn 2 and then through turn 3, 15.6. He's 900s up already through the first sector. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a mid 102, to be honest, when he comes around the final 2 sectors. But M Short now halfway through the middle sector on the run down towards turn 4. Let's see what he can do under the braking zone. Very nice. A little bit of a right-hand side lock up there from the right front. But M Short now coming through turn 5 and then in towards turn 6. As M Short really flies through, and he's going to be a sub 44 through the middle sector. He's absolutely flying. He's a 10th and a half up, and more than a 10th and a half up coming through the middle sector. Now through turn 8, tries to carry as little ground as possible, coming up towards turns 9 and 10. M Short now through the final 2 corners, a little bit shaky out of turn 9, but gathers it up through turn 10, and this is a really cracking lap from M Short across the line. 102.6, pretty much where I said. 3/10 improvement. Can anyone stop him?
That was a monstrous lap there from M Short, and that looked to me almost inch perfect, and he just had the placement of his car into every corner just right where it needed to be. That's going to take some beating.
On top, AJ has just started off on a lap. I think we've just seen Matt Tibos go up to 4th with a 103.1. Gary across the line, he goes 5th. 103.1, and he seems to me that he's making a bit of a habit out of going about 8 or 9 thousandths of a second off people, but he does go 5th. The Irishman behind Matt Tibos, looking to carry on his good form, of course, from Canada. Scuba on a lap coming through turn 1. I think he's just started off on this one, actually. Anybody else?
Just improved a little bit. He's just jumped ahead of Sway up into 8th.
Yep, 500th improvement there from Adamako. Very surprised actually Sway didn't improve as much as what I hoped on that, obviously from mediums onto a set of softs. 103.399, he's just within the 103.3s, but hopefully he can try and improve that lap. Powdy is invalidated coming up the hill, so was Matter. J. Cole looks like he might be on
interesting. He's on the medium.
Yeah, J. Cole on the mediums. Very intriguing indeed. He's 7,000 down through the first sector. We'll keep an eye on that, but Scuba is coming up towards the final 2 corners now. 4.5 minutes to go. M Short first, AJ second, Scuba in third. Be hoping to try and improve and find a little bit of time on. He's run wide through turn 10. That might be his comeuppance. Coming across the line, he doesn't improve. He went wide through the final corner. Apart from that, he was 900 up coming through the middle sector. Scuba goes third. And did I see rain out on track? No. Is the answer. Thought I saw a bit of rain, but no.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past it, looking at this weather.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past it either. I mean, it is looking quite overcast. Obviously, the sun trying to break through the clouds. McMaverick now on a lap. A shaky out of turn 1, but he runs up the hill towards turns 2 and 3. Out on track. It'll be really intriguing to see if McMaverick can improve through the first sector. Yeah, 400s up through the first sector, despite a shaky turn 1. Now through turn 3 at the top of the hill, the highest point out on track, fighting control of the car as he now runs down towards turn 4. And McMaverick the Brit will be hoping to try and improve ahead of Cowboy, maybe ahead of Parody and Harry as well. Further up the field with a 103.4, 103.5. That's the sort of region he wants to be targeting. Sway has just came out the pits lane as well. And we will see, with 3 minutes to go, quite a lot of guys come out the pit lane. McMaverick shaky as he 10th down through the middle sector. To be honest, I would have bought this lap and come into the pit lane if I was him. I don't think he's going to improve. And yeah, it looks like he's exactly going to do that. Into the pit lane he comes, and McMaverick not happy with that lap. He was a 10th down. I mean, he was only going to lose more time, I think, as well. So the best decision, I think, has been made, and he can now come into the pits and get one more flying lap in.
Yeah, he just didn't look confident in that middle sector at all.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, 13th, 103.7. I mean, he's only 1.1 off M short, so it's not as if he's, like, completely out of contention like Matta and Jekyll, 104.2, 104.3. They're 5/10 off McMaverick, so it's really intriguing to see. Sway has invalidated on his out lap, but he's now coming around the final corner at the start of his lap. So imagine Sway is going to be one of the main contenders as he now comes up the hill towards turn 1. Ooh, very shaky coming out of turn 1, but he now runs up the hill towards turns 2 and 3. All the guys you can see on the left hand side of your screen coming out the pit lane, 600ths of a second improvement from Sway. Not a bad first sector, but to me it looks like he's just taking it this little bit cautiously, I think.
If I was Sway, I would have filled up for potentially 2 flying laps just in case the worst happens, you invalidate. So he's probably taking this one nice and calm to see where he can gain the time and then go for it.
I say what he's through. Oh, he's not going to be improving through the middle sector as he runs wide out of turn 6. So he's not going to be improving. That means he will down his ERS. It could be this and next lap invalidated, so it could be the end of his qualifying session. It looks as if, yeah, that is the end of his qualifying session. He's into the pit lane. That's Sway done.
I think Kyled is the next one to cross the line with a lap. It just goes wide, but keeps it valid somehow.
Not as wide as what Sway did, so the track limits there. Carlin must have just leaned off the power slightly coming through the corner and didn't pick up a track limit invalidation for his lap. Carlin now coming around the final 2 corners. He is going to be the first one, as you say, to come across the line. I think we've got a Ferrari on a lap, which might be Gary. 2/10 down, Carlin in the end. Gary is in the middle sector, so it's J. Cole that is on a lap. He's 6/10 up on a set of softs, coming through the final 2 corners. And now J. Cole to the line. Let's see what he's going to do in the Ferrari. Goes 10th. That's more like it from J. Cole, 103.4. He improves ahead of Harry by about 1400ths of a second.
Yeah, but that was a big lap for J. Cole there, because he really was a mile back, as he just gets knocked out of the top 10 by, I believe that was
Powdy. Powdy going 6th, yeah, 103.1. Nice lap there from Powdy, the Irishman, just in behind Gary, actually, who I was right on board with. He invalidated coming out the final 2 corners. So Gary not improving on his lap. Matt Tibos crashes coming across the line. He's not happy with that. Didn't improve. He invalidated, I think, at the final corner as well. Let's see who's one of the main contenders. AJ is not going to be improving, I don't think. Yeah, AJ actually has just improved, I think. 103 point... No. Actually, I'll correct myself.
2.7, but it was invalidated, I believe.
Invalid, that's why. M Short going across the line and invalidated that lap as well. So M Short 102.6 is quicker. Scuba then is the main one to watch, I think, in the McLaren. We'll see improvements further down the field, but Scuba's purple coming through the middle sector. He needs to find 3/10 of a second theoretically to get pole position. Can he beat M Short at his own game in qualifying as he comes down through the final 2 corners out on track, flying through turn 9, hits the sleeping policeman through turn 10, but this is a quick lap. It's not going to be good enough though, and he doesn't even improve in the end. I thought that was guaranteed improvement, but he doesn't, and Captain Chubbs has gone ahead of him into 3rd by 6,000ths of a second, and he's only 2,000ths off AJ.
That is as close as you can get.
unbelievable. And I mean, factor in down to parity in 7th, about half a second, half a tenth of a second even, separating 2nd to 7th. M Short in a country, out by front in a country mile. AJ 2nd, Chubbs 3rd, Scuba in 4th. Callboy's the only one to come into the pit lane. He's not going to be improving. Ginger didn't set a lap time either. Wesker's disqualification, though, how costly is that for him in the championship run? Because he's 3rd coming into tonight, and surely Wesker is going to be absolutely ruining the game, I think, to be honest.
Wesker, he is going to be furious that he got himself disqualified, but he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
Yeah, he has. He's down in 17th, the Austrian at his home track. We're just waiting for AJ to be right on board with him coming into the pit lane. But that is the end of qualifying. And who else but M Short takes pole position with a phenomenal lap, the only man to go into the 102s. So there it is, M Short taking pole position out on track by 0.4 of a second. Very comfortable indeed from AJ in 2nd. Chubbs in 3rd with Scuba in 4th. Matt Tibos in 5th with Gary in 6th. Parody in 7th. Khaled in 8th. Callboy in 9th. Jekyll also picked up a 5-second penalty for that collision with Wesker. So he's down now into 15th. So that promotes Adam Ackles, Sway, Harry, McMaffrick and Matter all up a position. Jekyll will be starting 15th. FRL Ginger in 16th. And Wesker down there in 17th position. And Jekyll, unfortunately, picking up that 5-place grid penalty. How costly is that for him?
Well, for J. Cole now, he has to start on those tyres.
Yeah.
Everyone ahead of him, everyone that's jumped ahead of him now will get free choice of tyre compound where he has to stay on that slightly worn set of soft tyres.
Yeah, imagine the top. Oh, go on.
I was going to say that could be a bit costly for him.
Yeah, it's going to be really costly, I think, for J. Cole. Obviously, starting down there in 15th, as you say, starting on a worn set of softs. Imagine these guys who qualified in the top 10 to be running with about less than 10% tyre wear already on those tyres, depending on how many laps they got in within qualifying and depending on whether it is a fresh set of softs that they're going to be using. Well, they can't, but whether it's a fresher set of softs that they have with them doing only one lap or with them doing multiple laps out on track. It's going to be fascinating to see how this unfolds. The formation lap is about to begin. M Short out on top, AJ 2nd, Chubbs in 3rd. You got 2 of your top 3 right in qualifying.
I'll take it. All 3 of them go in the top 4. I mean, I'll take it.
You came in here, waltzed in as a co-commentator and predicted 2 out of the top 3 positions when I haven't even predicted the 2 out of the top 3 positions all season. One of those things. Predicted pit stop strategy, 1 stop for a set of softs for M Short, lap 15 to 16. If he was to go into a set of hard, which is more favourable, it's probably around lap 14 to 15, I think it said on my graphic there. But expect the guys to pit in before lap 10. Some of these guys could even pit in as early as lap 4, lap 5 out on track. How trying to think of the right words to say here. How difficult is it for the tyre wear around this track? These guys are going to be so careful, surely, on these tyres.
You might kind of lag just a little bit there.
Oh,
so
did
I? Couldn't quite get all that then.
Oh, that's unfortunate. What I said was about the tyre management. How difficult is it going to be for these guys out on track to manage these tyres effectively, especially with it being overcast conditions?
To be honest, I don't think I can see these guys having huge issues with managing their tyres, but that overcast conditions, I don't trust it. I think we might see a sprinkle of a little something extra in the air tonight. If
we see a bit of rain, season. So it could be quite interesting to see if that's the case. We're just waiting on Wesker, I think, to finally join up. He's on a set of hard compound of tyres, actually, further down the field. As you say, Jekyll starting on a set of softs. Majority of the bottom half of the field starting on a set of softs. Matter Ginger being the exception rather than the rule there on a set of medium compound of tyres. But the 5 red lights are about to go out here in Austria for round 6 of the championship. Long hold, but it's lights out and away we go. M Short gets a very good start. AJ could have the run up towards turn 1, and he is. The Racing Point's going to be ahead. Down in towards turn 1. Alpha Romeo to the outside line. Racing Point on the inside line. M Short has to cut across the track. It's 3 wide. Running up the hill for the lead of the race as Captain Chubbs has got a phenomenal run up the hill. It's 3 wide as they run up towards turn 3. Now 2 by 2 as Scuba drops in behind as well. But coming through the end of sector 1, AJ is the one who takes the lead. Captain Chubbs second. Scuba up to third. M Short has dropped down from first down to fourth. Maybe as a result of wearing tyres off the start, but Scuba phenomenally gets a run down the hill and towards turn 3, just like slightly outbreaks himself as we come now through, looking through the mid-pack as well. Callboy quite close to the back of Kylan, quite close to the back of Callboy. McMaverick and Adam Acko are running side by side just in behind. The Williams just forces off the Mercedes off track slightly, but Adam Acko just about gets that P10 done. Fantastic stuff, and Kylan is through and Callboy ahead. It is pretty much hell for leather in the mid-pack of the field. Matt Tibos on the back of M Short, he's looking to have a go in towards the final 2 corners, but Adam Acko through and Callboy just in behind. Camera shot, we just saw that. AJ leads, Chubb second, Scuba third, M Short in fourth. There's been a bit of collision, no there hasn't, there's been a little bit of a timings glitch actually out on track, and Matt Tibos...
That's gone.
No, he hasn't. It's a timings glitch. He's in fifth still.
He's ghosting. He's ghosting for me.
He is ghosting for me as well. It's the game. It is the game to play. And there we go. We should see the order now update itself as we come through the end of the first sector. A little bit of a glitch going on. There is a driver into the pit lane. I think that might be Emerald Ginger, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's Callboy. The other Red Bull. It is Callboy into the pit lane from what is 17th position. Not the lead of the race, as you can see on your graphics there. But AJ now leads. Chubbs in second, Scuba third, M Short in fourth. How costly was that start for M Short, though? He's lost 3 positions off the start line.
Not only did he lose 3 positions, he lost a position to his championship rival. That is going to be costly for him, and Matt is right behind him, and he was putting M Short under pressure at the end of that first lap, so maybe a little chink in M Short's armour here.
Yeah, we fly through. Matt Tibos looking about 0.5 of a second actually off as Ginger picks up the first 3-second time penalty of tonight. AJ leads, Chubb second, Scuba in third as we now start officially lap 3, not lap 3 on your graph. High end as Matt Tibos now runs up the hill, but the DRS train is going to be quite potent as they come up the hill, but it looks like AJ hanging on, Chubb second, Scuba third for now. As we see Mac Maverick on the back of Adam Acko as well. This is for 9th and 10th position. The Brit right on the back of his fellow countryman as well. And we run down in towards the braking zone of turn 4 once again. And Adam Acko hanging on, but nobody really close enough for any overtaking. I think it's because of the DRS trains that are happening already.
Yeah, and unfortunately Matt picking up a 3-second time penalty following behind M Short, but as you were saying, the DRS trains just make it difficult for overtakes to be made in this early stages.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult, I think. Obviously, Matt Tibos just dropping off the back now of M Shaw. He could be quite potent, actually, to Gary, who's in behind him out on track. The Irishman on the back here of the Brit. We have started lap 4. Hopefully my connection is okay, by the way. I can see it going on 1 bars, so that's not the greatest thing in the world.
And M Shaw on the back of Scuba now, up to turn 3.
Oh, goodness me! Trying to go right around the outside. Scuba nearly outbreaks himself into the back of Chubbs, but good racing there. Scuba hangs on to the position.
Yeah, I'm sure came very close to Scuba on the out turn 1 there, and that was the first real opportunity that these had, and Scuba's defended fantastically.
Yeah, M Shaw in 4th position, Scuba in 3rd currently. AJ still out in front, Chubb 2nd, Scuba in 3rd. Side by side though, Maverick and Adam Acko once again recreating their lap 1 battle, and Adam Acko just about hanging on, and I think my connection is definitely going here as we see a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, and it's Ginger who's round. Through turn 6, has he got caught on the outside curb there, I wonder?
I am not sure, but be sure to lose it again on those tyres.
Well, carry on. we'll carry on. If we have to do a second part of this stream, then we have to. Matt Tibos down the inside of Gary. No hanging about from Matt Tibos. He's up into 5th. Gary now under pressure slightly from Parody in behind as well. But AJ out in front, Chubb 2nd, Scuba 3rd, M Short 4th, Matt Tibos 5th, Gary 6th, Parody in 7th. Sway is not on the back of Adamako as it sees on the left-hand side. Hopefully, on my end, the
Maverick
graphics
is on the
will...
back of Sway.
He is, yeah, Mac Maverick on the back of Sway. I was just right on board with Sway, actually. Mac Maverick pressurising Sway, possibly for 10th position here. Mac Maverick, obviously in 11th. Of course, everyone gets points out on track, so the more they continue out on track, the better they will be in terms of point scoring. And hopefully, we're going to see this through right to the end. We are now on to lap 6 out on track. AJ leads, Chubb 2nd, Scuba in 3rd. And been an interesting race so far, I think.
Yeah, and just want to point it out, this is heartbreaking for Wesker because Harry has just dropped out of DRS range of J. Cole. And even if Wesker does get past Harry, he's not going to be in DRS at J. Cole to continue moving forward.
Yeah, oh, Harry actually makes a mistake coming out, and this is Wesker's opportunity, and Wesker just sails on by. Harry down into 14th position, Wesker through, and he's up to 13th. Job done. And my internet connection quality is not sufficient to broadcast gameplay at this stage, so yeah, something is really happening, I think, on my end. I'm not sure what it is, but hopefully we can carry on with the stream as it is. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop out the party. I'm just going to go blue screen for a second, and I'll see if it fixes itself. I'll be back. I think I'm back. Jekyll down the inside of Mac Maverick, trying to get the move done. This is for 11th and 12th position out on track. As Jekyll now runs down the hill and he's got the move done. So Jekyll through and he's up into 11th position. How easy was that move?
It's very easy, but I mentioned it earlier. These two are now out of DRS or Sway, so they're just going to drop even further behind.
Yeah, it is going to be really interesting to see. Obviously, J. Cole could actually bring Mac Maverick into contention, but remember, J. Cole qualified in 10th. He dropped down to 15th as a result of a 5-second time penalty that he got, or 5-second grid drop, I should say, that he got. He's down there in 11th position and is losing time to Sway rather than gaining it currently. Top 10, separated by 5.5 seconds out on track. However, AJ is looking quite quick out in front. Chubb's in 2nd. Not really getting close to the back of him, and not there's anybody else in behind, to be honest. It's just one of these things where they're all stuck in a DRS train, nobody's close enough for an overtake, and it's quite boring, to be honest.
The interesting thing is going to be now is when does M Short start to use his overtake button? That's something I just picked up on.
Yeah, having a look. ERS. My god, ERS. 95% of ERS. As he's on the back of Scuba. Mac Maverick has redone the position down and towards turn 4, so the Mercedes through on the Ferrari. How many times have we seen that this season in real life? Not. But Mac Maverick through and he's up into 11th position. AJ Little leading. I have a feeling though AJ's beginning to overwear those tyres slightly, and Chubb's in 2nd, really beginning to come back into play here, and he's 3.5 tenths off. This is the closest he's been pretty much since flag fall, and Scuba not really catching up. I think we're going to see a split for the front two here, pulling away. Let's see as we run up towards...
See, that's close enough.
No, not close enough this time. Chubbs could be close enough down and towards turn 4. He's got to be wary though, because Scuba and M Short are right on his tail as well. It's pretty much like a game of Fall Guys, I think, between the top 10 out on track tonight. M Short. Scuba just changing his line. Oh, and then he goes into the back actually of Chubbs. Very close on the braking zone, but M Short hangs on to P4. So does Scuba in P3. But M Short now, it looks to me, where's this pace come from? Because he's beginning to reclaim some of that pace back that he dropped through the opening laps. And we are now a quarter of the way through, and what a time to do it as we approach the first pit stops out on track.
Yeah, I think Short has played a very smart game there. He saved his ERS, let everyone else waste his, and now he's starting to use it. And now he's catching up. He's going to look down the inside of Scuba into turn 1.
Job done. Job done from Short. Fantastic move. Scuba though is going to come back in and watch for the DRS, but actually watch for the overtake mode because Short's just used that up to perfection. Chubbs is on the back of AJ. He's not going to commit the move though down in towards turn 3. Maverick is into the pit lane. And I'm not sure what happened because Maverick dropped down the field a few positions. Did he pick up front wing damage in the pit lane? I think he might have done.
I'm not entirely sure. I think he's just made his scheduled pit stop.
He might have done. He certainly lost positions. There he is actually with Callboy. They're battling up towards turn 3. And Callboy is through on Maverick for 16th position out on track. Wesker is the interesting one. He's just got through on J-Call. Harry has dropped off the pace as well on Matter. We're beginning to see, I think, the delta times change. Wesker is really beginning to close in on Sway. As Short... Chubbs into the pit. Short was about to get that move done. I was wondering why Chubbs was coming so close to him, but Short carries on. Chubbs, as you say, into the pit lane along with Matt Tipples. So they're the first of the real leaders to pit. And it is going to be, of course, for a set of hard compounder tyres out on track. Lap 11 has started. AJ leads, Short second, Scuba in third. Chubbs onto a set of hards. Matt Tippos onto a set of hards. He's joined out right and behind him, actually coming out the pit lane. And J-Cole also onto a set of hard compound of tyres as well. Myself and Ivor Brim Mike taking you through this one as Sway is on the back of Adamako for 7th and 8th, and Sway actually not sure what the weaving is for, maybe to get heat into those tyres. The Brit just struggling maybe with a little bit of overwearing on those tyres. You can see actually blistering is starting to occur on the front right tyre of Sway. Surely it's going to be a matter of time before he comes into the pit lane.
Yeah, I think he's starting to struggle just a little bit and the steering a little bit more than what he would like. And Adamako is going to be peeling off into the pits.
Scuba's in.
The inside.
Scuba in from third as well, the Irishman, followed in actually by his compadres. I go on board with a Red Bull as he comes through the final corner. There is Scuba though, coming into the pit lane. Pit window now open, lap 12 to 16 for a one-stop strategy onto a set of medium compound of tyre, and Scuba has gone onto that pit window. 24 laps on a set of mediums. They're going to be about 75-80% worn towards the end. But surely Scuba is going to have the run of the race because there is Chubbs coming out right behind him, I think, actually, will Scuba. And Chubbs actually is going to be outdone by Gary, perhaps. No, sorry, Matt Tibbos.
The undercut working very effectively there for Matt.
Short down the inside for the lead of the race. He's got the move done on AJ. Fantastic stuff. Very late on into the party there with the camera work, but Short is through. Got the move done down the inside line. He's through, and he's into the lead of the race. We're beginning to pick up a lot of overtakes. Here comes Matt Tibbos down the inside of Captain Chubbs. Down the hill and towards turn 4. Hits the inside curb. Chubbs around the outside. Could give Scuba the run as well. Remember, he's on a set of mediums as compared to the guys on a set of hards in front. And Matt Tibbos has got the move done. Sailed it around the outside of Chubbs. Turn 6, I did say was an overtaking spot. I didn't really mean it that way. But Matt Tibbos has got through and he's up into 9th position. And that, in turn, could be potentially for the net lead of the race.
Yeah, Matt Tibbos doing absolutely fantastic. Get that move done on Captain Chubbs here. And as you said, the undercut. Good work.
Scuba's just sailed through on Captain Chubbs as well. Chubbs really losing out. And sadly, I think losing out on your qualifying prediction as well, which is a shame. But he is doing still a sterling job. Here comes Scuba though on a set of mediums. Look at the run that Scuba has got in comparison to Matt Tibbos. He is through and he's up into 7th position. And Scuba, I think, has just made that look look pretty easy. Short and AJ still sacrificing themselves on a set of softs along with Sway. Scuba, is he landing himself a possible win here?
He is in prime position. What he needs to do now, he needs to break away from Matt and Captain Chubbs. As Short and AJ are into the pits for their pit stop, and we'll see where Scuba comes out, well, where Scuba will be relative to Short and AJ now as he comes through the final corner. Is the undercut going to work?
They're coming out the final corners, actually, Scuba. M Short is, I think he's going to be barely ahead of Scuba here, to be honest. There is Scuba to the right-hand side of him, and Scuba's ahead. Scuba is ahead. Medium's really working to great effect. Matt Tibos is through, and Chubbs is through. So it's pretty much how we were. M Short and Chubbs are fighting side by side. Gary and AJ are fighting side by side as well, just in behind Noah's Ark formation as they run up in towards turn 3. And M Short trying it all, a little bit of a desync there on Chubbs, but goodness me, that was close to a little bit of contact. There was contact, it was just a little bit of a desync as per the game. Oh my god! AJ's on the inside, oh, very late on the brakes, outdoes it on the brakes. M Short has been caught up in a little bit of a collision with that one. He's losing out big time here with Gary on the back of this as well. AJ got the run. He's obviously on a set of mediums, but you can't really use a person as a brake marker like that, I'm afraid.
M Short, AJ and Gary there. And I think we just saw M Short just weaving in protest of what AJ had just done.
In frustration, I think, of what AJ has just done as well. Obviously, M Short will be hoping that he can carry on and continue on, but AJ now in 8th position has got a run here at Chubbs. Matt Tibos is just in front of these guys as well. At 15 out of 36, it's Sway who leads, Wesker second, Matta in third. AJ trying it around the outside of turn 3. Very, very good on the traction. Can he get the run on a set of mediums compared to Chubbs on a set of hards? I think you bet he can, to be honest. AJ is through and he's up into 7th position. I don't think Chubbs made it look that hard, to be honest, for him. As I'm not sure if my connection cut out again.
Yeah, the mic was cutting out a little bit then.
Oh, terrible, honestly. It is the death of me, this connection.
But Matt picking up another 3-second time penalty. That is going to be very crucial as Chubbs picks up another 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, going to be really intriguing, I think, to see how, of course, these guys get on. Sway into the pit lane. Pit window now open for AJ to go on a one-stop strategy. Lap 16 on a set of softs. I'm not sure what the game's really thinking there. Everald Ginger is under attack from Scuba. And I think this one is going to be pretty easy, I think, for Scuba. He's down on the outside line.
Through on Matt.
Job done, and AJ through on Matt. M Short is through on Chubbs as well. A little bit of contact. What happened there?
I was on board where M Short was going around the outside of Captain Chubbs as Matt was just being overtaken by AJ. AJ and Matt were slowed down on the apex, and Chubbs and M Short, I think, just went straight into the back of him.
Yeah, M Short definitely looked late on the brakes there, certainly went into the back of Chubbs. Chubbs now down into 9th position as a result, and I think he caught a half spin as well coming out of turn 3, which is quite costly. But that means Gary now up to 8th position, and Kylan's trying to go all the way around the outside of turn 9. No way! Kylan around the outside of turn 9. He has to back off. He tried as he might, but he failed. And Kylan now can get the run up towards turn 1. Surely this is going to be job done. Chubbs is fighting. Kylan into the slipstream. He does want this move, but Chubbs is very, very vague. But he now runs off track, and Kylan picks up a 3-second time penalty. Gets the run. Chubbs will have to defend. He doesn't. Adamako now going to be involved in this. It could be a potential 3 well up towards turn 3. And now Adamako down the inside of Chubbs. Makes it look pretty easy on the brakes. The 2 Williams are through, and they're up into 9th and 10th position. Goodness me, we're getting on the edge of our seat here out on track. Chubbs still on the back of Adamako. Down the hill, not quite. But Chubbs certainly making life difficult, I think, for the 2 Williams out in front. And Adamako, he's got the pace, he's got the set of mediums, but it just seems to me that Chubbs is keeping those tyres in quite a good working order. He's got Parody, his teammate, in behind him. What does he do now? He's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, to be honest. And he's going to let him through. So we let him
I
through.
think that was a smart call. Smart call from Chubbs.
Yeah, Paddy through and he's up to 11th. Chubbs, I think, obviously on a set of hards. Yeah, it makes sense for that move to be done. Scuba, by the way, is racing out in front on. Ginger's round. Ginger is round out of turn 1. Got caught, I think, on the curb on the exit. And Ginger has spun out of what was, I think, P4 out on track. And now Ginger all the way down into 13th position. He's got right side end plate damage as well, which is so unfortunate for the AlphaTauri man. He was yet to come into the pit lane. I think, to be honest, he may as well lose that right side end plate and go for a bit of a T-train moment, to be honest. M Short ran the outside of Matt Tibos. Not quite. Could get the switch back. But no, Matt Tibos hangs on. God, there's a lot of action happening.
Yeah, this is the Austria that we were speaking about earlier, where the overtakes will happen.
Certainly living up to expectations, I think, this race. Wesker obviously out in front. Scuba second now, with Matter in third. Bear in mind, everyone, that Wesker and Matter, as well as Ginger, still have to come in for a pit stop. Harry as well will have to come in for a pit stop. He's going to get the move done left roll Ginger. Easy as you like, actually, with that left side end plate damage for Ginger. So he is into the pit lane. What tyres will he go on? Because it's too early for a set of softs. He can hardly get those to the end. In fact, he won't get those to the end if he pits in. And he retires in the pit lane.
I think that's a mistake from Ginger. Guaranteed points, even if you're having a bad race, you stick it out.
Yeah, you do stick it out. I mean, Cowboy is coming around the final corner as well. So Ginger probably would have been out and around that point. Here comes M Short, though, to the back of Matt Tibos. Around the outside he goes, down in towards turn 4. Can he get the move done? Both on a set of hard compound of tyres. They've got Gary as well in behind on a set of hards. They're fighting side by side, tooth and nail. A little bit of contact as M Short sticks to the inside line. Brilliant move by M Short. Can he get the move done? He can. Fantastic stuff. That is the champion-elect at his finest. Matt Tibos, though, is having a race of his life. He is right on the back of M Short. He's not going to get the move done in towards turn 9. Brilliant racing between them both. Alfa Romeo against Renault. Two potential championship leaders. M Short and Matt Tibos. Fantastic battling. Now Matt Tibos is going to have a run at M Short, trying to go around the outside of turn 1. And not quite. M Short, 5th position. Matt Tibos, 6th.
Here comes Matt Tibos again with that second bite of DRS as AJ gets past Matt. As M Short defends to the inside of turn 3, and he has the DRS this time.
Yeah, Matt Tibos going to be really struggling down the hill. Gary as well has got the DRS just in behind, but M Short through and he's up to 5th. Oh my god, Matt Tibos on the brakes. I thought he was going to go careering into the back of him there, but hangs on for now. And remember, oh, and he's lost it. Oh, I thought he lost it. Did he nearly lose it there?
I don't know. I was having a look at the battle with Cody on the back of Adam Mako.
Paddy on the back of Adam Mako. Honestly, there is so much going on out on track. It is absolutely, we cannot keep up. It is simple as that. We cannot keep up out on track. Lap 21 out of 36. Wesker leads, not really losing the time to Scuba. He's in 2nd, AJ in 3rd, Matt 4th, Short in 5th, Matt Tibos 6th. Gary 7th, Kylan in 8th, Adam Mako 9th, Powdy in 10th position. Any moves possible down up the hill and towards turn 3. Gary looking close on Matt Tibos, but not quite. A little bit of a shaky run there as well from Gary, but Matt Tibos hangs on for now. And this battle, by the way, M Short all the way down to Powdy is spanning pretty much net P3.
Yeah, and I was going to bring up that we mentioned how costly was that disqualification for Wesker in qualifying. He is almost an entire pit stop behind Scuba right now.
He is, and yeah, I mean, he's still going on that set of hard compound of tyres yet to come into the pit lane. And remarkably, we haven't had a VSC or a safety car yet. Touch wood, we're not. Matter is into the pit lane, so that will free M Short now up into 4th position. But now, Adam Mako going side by side, I think, with his teammate and past. Adam Mako goes on Kyle, and he's through and he's up into 7th position. Interesting, because Adam Mako on a lap older tyres than Kyle. Kyle obviously on a lap fresher tyres, and Powdy, who's looking to try and get the move done on the same amount of tyres, and he tries to go all the way around the outside, very late on the brakes, the Irishman, but he tries and gets the move done. He doesn't. Adam Mako quite shaky actually out of the corner as well. Matt Tibos under pressure from Gary. And Gary using up the overtake mode. Is he going to go for a lunge down the inside? He is. The Irishman on the brakes. Can he get the move done? No is the answer to that. Gary tried. Gary failed. Matt Tibos still hangs on for P5. But to be honest, Gary in a good position possibly to land himself another podium place? Because I think Matt Tibos has got penalties, hasn't he?
Yep, Matt Tibos with 2 penalties I've seen so far. So we've got Wesker into the pits now. So we'll see how far he drops through the field. He is going to be on what I believe will be soft tyres now to the end.
Yep.
But we shall see how far up the order he can get himself back up to.
Matter and Mac Maverick. Matter down the inside through turn 9, gets the move done on Mac Maverick. Further down the field, on a fresh set of softs. That's what a fresh set of softs can do, but not like that, because he picks up a 3-second time penalty exactly on the exit out to the corner. Wesker, I would have said he would have been in and around J. Cole sort of area he is. He's out in 11th position, but he's 15 seconds off the lead of the race. Bear that in mind. 15 seconds off the lead of the race. Is it possible he could get longer term into this race? He could get onto the back of the battle for P3, M Short, Matt Tibos and the likes.
I think it is possible. He is going to rapidly catch up to Captain Chubbs. I mean, fresh softs, which is already 10 lap old hearts. There's no contest there. As you can see, he's already taken half a second out of him already.
Yeah,
I think it is possible that he could actually come back and actually get right in this mix with M Short down the podium.
Yeah, he's certainly going to be under pressure, I think. Chubbs, obviously, 10th position. He's getting closed in, well, night and day, to be honest. 2.7 seconds across the line. Purple middle, purple final sector, of course, not a purple first because he came out the pit lane. AJ, though, was on the back of Scuba. This is for the race lead, and Scuba and AJ are going to really fight quite tooth and nail, the Irishman and the Brit out on track. Interesting that AJ not using up any overtake though, try to conserve that as much as possible. He has got 54% of that remaining. Scuba has got 82%, so Scuba in a better position than AJ. Might be why AJ is a lot closer this lap around rather than the last lap. But it looks to me, actually, as we see Matter through on J Call down and towards turn 4, on the mini-map that was, it looks to me as if the sun might be beginning to poke through those clouds. So if it gets sunnier out on track, surely the softs are going to evolve more than the rest of the tyres.
Yeah, this could really play into Wesker's hand if it gets sunnier. However, I'm starting to think, has Scuba made a mistake somewhere? Because that gap, not too long ago, was well over a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he's conserving his ERS. He's got 90% of ERS. AJ has got 51% of ERS. And actually, here comes AJ, possibly for a move down in towards turn 4. He fancies his chances. Here comes the Brit down the inside of the Irishman. And AJ through. But I think Scuba is playing this tactically. And he's just allowing AJ, maybe mentally, to have a disadvantage out on track. Adamako and Gary are side by side coming out through turn 6. Adamako through, and he's up into 5th. Gary down into 6th. But we should see those positions change eventually because of the tyres, of course, out on track. But yeah, I think Scuba might be at a mental advantage now out on track. He's got 2 lap older tyres than AJ. AJ pitted 2 laps later than Scuba, but Scuba has got 90% of ERS. AJ's got about half that, to be honest. And Scuba, 7 tenths down. He is losing time, but I think he'll gain that back, I think.
He's already lost 7 tenths to M Short.
Oh!
And we've got
Maverick
around Maverick out.
And it's retired out on track, actually. He spun coming around the final 2 corners out of turn 9. I think he's got caught on the outside curb. It could warrant a VSC, it could warrant a safety car. He has retired out on track. Might be a slapped wrist coming his way from the stewards, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Maverick, unfortunately, out of the race, has left the session, but that does mean we still have AJ out in front. Scuba second, M Short in third. Not really. I'm going to ask this question: is M Short close enough to win this race?
Yeah, I actually think he is, because that gap is definitely coming down between M Short and Scuba.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2.2 seconds. Scuba obviously... Well, I think we're beginning to see the change in the delta times between the tyres because of the conditions changing as well. M Short 2 seconds now off the back of Scuba. He is gaining a couple of tenths per lap, but he is gaining it at parts of the track where Scuba does not have DRS, and he's not close enough to the back of AJ either. So that is really intriguing, I think. And the hards are beginning to come into play. Certainly from M Short. I'm not sure about Matt Tipos with him being 3 lap older on those tyres, but certainly M Short might have a good chance of picking up either a 3rd or a 4th win this season.
And on the progress of Wesker, he is only 1.5 seconds off the back of Sway now, so he is almost on the back of that train in DRS.
Motoring along the Austrian. So much for his his disqualification in qualifying. Actually downs to 7th gear, coming up the hill, up the slight rise through turn 9. But there we go, he's within DRS range. Not this time around, he will be though up the hill. Sway is weaving to try and get heat into those tyres in front of him. But now Wesker, the man is on a mission. The home crowd is going to lift him up into the rafters. If there was a crowd, of course, in Austria, there would. But Wesker in 10th position, really beginning to charge on the back of these guys. And these guys are running a DRS train. But the disadvantage now is for Wesker, he's just joined onto the back of this DRS train. So what he's now got to do, as Gary is now very close, and actually down the inside goes Gary. Adamako switches it back though. Gets it. Adamako through and he's up to 5th, and Wesker is through on Sway and he's up to 9th.
I'm just looking at that gap between Wesker and M Short. If Wesker can start making some quick work of these guys up ahead, he could still be within this race win possibility.
4.5 seconds, I think the gap is between M Short and Wesker out on track. It's probably just more than that, but take that with a pinch of salt. Wesker on the back. Powdy just using up his overtake mode, but now Wesker has got to use up his overtake mode as well. Gary right on the back of Adabako in the first run of this battle. There's the fastest lap. Wesker has let the fastest lap, gets a superior run, has already gone past Powdy. Goodbye, Powdy, he says, and now Adamako and Gary, we see this on board with Gary, he's through and he's up into P5. Fantastic stuff out on track. Wesker now is closing in on Kylan, but he's got to be wary. He's got to be wary of those tyres towards the end of the race. He doesn't want to try and overdo these moves now so that they cost the tyres right at the end of the race. Wesker's got to be careful. He's got to basically manage balance of pace against tyre wear.
He is right underneath that rear wing of Kylan there.
Right on the back. Yeah, the racing points. We have got what will be 6 more laps to go. No, 7 more laps to go. AJ leads, Scuba second, M Short in third. M Short now just without just out of a second off. But now here comes Wesker on Kylan, and Kylan made to look pretty easy there, to be honest, there for Wesker. And the Austrian is through and he's up into 7th. Gets a poor run out. Kylan's going to have a run back, but now Wesker uses up that overtake mode up the hill, pulls away from Kylan. He is through and he's up into 7th position. And as you said early on, he's making light work, but Gary is holding up these guys now. Matt Tebos and M Short have broken away from this, what was a group of potentially 7 drivers all the way down to 10th. M Short and Matt Tebos have now gone away. Wesker has got 2 more cars between himself and clear air. I don't think he can get M Short and Matt Tibos if he gets these moves done.
I mean, it all depends on how much he takes out those tyres being stuck behind these guys.
It's going to be fascinating. He could have the run on Adamako running up towards turn 9. Do you know what? I would risk it, to be honest. I would try and go for the move down in towards turn 9. But Adamako hanging on to P6. Be right on board with Wesker. I am keeping an eye on that gap for the lead as well. AJ is in the lead, but Scuba is getting very close to the back. And let's right on board with the man at the moment of Scuba. AJ leading the way. Scuba in second, running up the hill. Here comes Scuba down the inside line. Not quite. He's just warning them he's there. AJ leading. Scuba in second. Wesker's made light work of Adamako though. He's up to 6th. And Scuba again, trying to turn in between 2 battles here. Scuba down the inside gets the lead of the race from AJ, and that is what I exactly said. He used up that ERS moment. He used up that ERS to absolute perfection there. got the overtake done, and now he can forge away once again from AJ. I think that was a mental advantage for Scuba right on track.
Yeah. The thing is now, M Short, as we see, does have a bit more ERS, and he is now just inside that DRS window. And you got to think the hards are going to be the better tyre right now.
Yeah, hards will be the better tyre. Obviously, with 5 laps to go, these mediums will begin to wear off. And M Short, maybe longer term, he was thinking, oh, I'm going to get these guys. Well, he's right on the back of these guys. AJ second, Scuba in first. Wesker, though, is going to try and make light work of Gary here as we run up the hill. Beautiful helicopter cam on my end as Wesker now cuts the inside line. Gary, I think, is not going to really defend this one. Wesker through, and that is him clear of the traffic. P5, 4.5 seconds between himself and Matt Tibos. Can he do it with 5 laps to go?
It's going to be close.
All dependent, I think, on this balance between pace and tyre wear. And to be honest, you would normally see him ranging that gap from about now. The tyres would have went probably about a second closing per lap. Probably now you would imagine it's only a couple of tenths. And Wesker 4.5 seconds off the back of Matt Tibos. It's the more this race pans out, Wesker, the less chance likely, the likelihood is the less chance he'll have to try and get the move done on Matt Tibos. M Short though is on the back of AJ. 4 laps to go. Have you ever seen a race like this, Mike?
It's been a very long time since I've seen a race this close. But right now, I can't even give you a winner. I mean, obviously, Matt is going to drop down the order because he does have penalties. That's got to be the goal for Wesker.
Goodness me, we've got M Short on the back of AJ. M Short down the inside of AJ actually gets the move done. The Alfa Romeo up to second. Fantastic stuff from M Short. Really made that one stick down the inside into turn 4. Must be his favourite overtaking place out on track tonight, but he's up to second. Sorry, Mike.
It's all good.
Oh, but goodness me.
M Short all over the back of Scuba now. This is going to be a game of cat and mouse. Who's going to have DRS at the crucial point?
This is going to be, I think, a game of mentality, I think, out on track as well between them both. Scuba obviously leading M Short in second. Matt Tibos is quite close to the back of AJ as well. Kyled is into the pit lane. And I'm not sure why he's into the pit lane. It looked like him and Powdy got quite close up towards turn 3. I'm not sure, but we'll carry on board with M Short and Scuba as he tried to go for the move there down in towards turn 3. And again, he just sits on tight. But M Short is driving another very consistent race. And in fact, he just sails on by Scuba. That is the easiest overtake you will see all night. M Short through on a set of hards. He played the long game. The long game worked. He is through and he's into the lead of the race.
Yeah, I just jumped on board with Kyled. There was no front wing change. I think he's just going for fastest lap.
Fastest lap, which is a point that is, of course, available out on track. You do get 2 points as well for pole position. So M Short landing himself a possible Grand Slam here. Matt Tibos to the inside of AJ, down in towards turn 9, gets the job done. Matt Tibos through turn 9, not normally an overtaking spot, to be honest, out on track. AJ's tyres are beginning to go over the cliff edge. And Matt Tibos made that look easy. He's through and he's up into P3 out on track. But do not rule out Scuba by any stretch of the imagination. 2 laps to go. M Short leads, Scuba second, Matt Tibos in third. We are in for an absolute thrilling final lap. As we see the run down the hill between M Short and Scuba. I know Mike is on the edge of saying something out on track, so I'll cut to him.
I'm just on the edge of my seat. I don't know.
It is one of these races. This is what Division 2 is like every single week. And you're in for a right treat.
I'm looking at that gap right now between the racing points.
Now, 1 point.
Because with Matt's penalties, Wesker could still get a podium here if he can overtake his teammate.
1.8 seconds though with a lap to go. It's pretty much impossible with the tyres that he's on. I mean, I've just said that, and he's just getting 0.3 of a second, and AJ's really spat the dummy out, I think, in terms of his tyres out on track. He's just overworn them to the point of extinction. Adamako was round through the final corner. He's lost that out of turn 9. Hopefully he can get the car back going again. Has he got a puncture, actually? He's got a left front puncture. That is why. Adamako into the pit lane, left front puncture on his car, and he's into the pits. Unfortunately, no fastest lap point.
And I think M Short has got us in the back now. Scuba needs to look behind him. Because Matt, well, he may not be a danger because of penalties. He could potentially just be a thorn in his side.
Matt Tibos is going to have a right go at this, though. He is right on the back of Scuba, and in fact, Scuba lets him through. Matt Tibos doing he's up to second, Scuba in third. What on earth has happened there? Very low. I wonder actually if he might be running low on fuel. He might be short sifting up the hill, but M Short round the final corner will take the lead. Wesker through on AJ, through into turn 9. M Short wins. M Short wins out on track. Matt Tibos second. Scuba into second. He might have just played that tactically. Matt Tibos across the line in fourth. AJ in fifth. Wesker did get past his teammate, as you said, quite rightly so, and he's got a podium out of it. Fantastic stuff by Wesker. Sorry to cut it. J. Cole's just gone down the inside of Powdy down the final corner. Gets the move done. Powdy's tyres, and now Kyler's gone through. Oh, and look at the position changes. Goodness me. Answers on a postcard with that one. Powdy up to 9th. Jobs in 10th. J. Cole 11th. Kyler 12th. Harry across the line in 13th. These are the forgotten guys, I think, out on track. Callboy is going to come across the line in 14th. And Adamako will come across the line also in 15th position, but it is M Short who has taken the win. What a race, what a thrilling final lap of the race. M Short takes it, but your driver of the day is Wesker, and I think rightfully so, from 17th on the grid up to 3rd. A phenomenal drive from the homeboy.
Yeah, that was fantastic from Wesker. He did exactly what he had to do. From the moment he got disqualified in qualifying, damage limitation, that's the perfect damage limitation he could have done.
Selfies galore for M Short as he takes the top step of the podium, and what we said early on, just throw the handbook pretty much out for these drivers tonight, because M Short has extended his championship lead somehow after that shocking start over Scuba and Wesker, and the front three in the championship are the front three in terms of positions. I don't think I've ever seen that in a race. Obviously with penalties, but M Short has taken it from Scuba in second. Wesker finishing in third, 17th on the grid, well deserved. He took the fastest lap actually as well, so he gets an extra point for that. Matt Tibos across the line in fourth, with AJ in fifth, Gary sixth, Sway in seventh, Matta in eighth, Powdy in ninth, and Chubbs rounding off the top 10. With J. Cole in 11th, Kyled in 12th, Callboy in 13th, Harry in 14th, Adamako 15th, Maverick and Ginger the only two not to score any points. But I think a minimum of 5 points goes to Adamako there in 15th position. Of course, with the extended point system, everyone in the top 15 gets points, which is happy days for everyone.
Yeah, and that's why I think it was a mistake for Maverick and Ginger to leave. I think Ginger didn't have... Well, actually, no, Ginger came into the pits, didn't he, and tired.
Yeah, he did, and unfortunate, to be honest. It is questionable that I always question drivers that do come into the pit lane and retire the car. It is unfortunate, but they could have easily got points. That's the thing. They could have easily got points, and they could have just stuck it out. It could have been the difference between them getting, 11th or 12th in the standings going into tonight. But that is it for tonight here in TTML Division 2. I really hope you've enjoyed the stream. Try my best with the camera work. We haven't got sadly Tom alongside us behind the scenes tonight for the cameras and for the graphics and whatever. But it has been a phenomenal night of racing. And Mike, who is your driver of the day?
It's got to be Wesker. A fantastic drive from the back of the grid up to the podium. I think the game has actually got it right there. Although M Short, very close, right behind Wesker for that.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I think Wesker definitely deserves the Driver of the Day award from us in the commentary box, and a fantastic race. It's not often I think we agree with the game. Not often at all. But that is the end of tonight here in TTML Division 2. If you have enjoyed the stream, do like, comment, subscribe. Tick that notification bell, of course. If you are new, you can follow the league on Twitter at TTML_F1. You can also follow myself and Ivory Mike on Twitter. Mine is at B52Head. That is at Bravo52Head. And Ivory Mike's is at ESW_Ivory Mike, I think.
No, it's just like Ruben Mike.
It's just Ivory Mike. Ignore the ESW. That's his PSN name. That's why. I thought your PSN was same as Twitter. Ignore that. But it is at Ivory Mike on Twitter. So go and follow my new co-commentator for Division 2 for the rest of the season. And Mike, what a fitting race to start off.
We started off with a bang and perfect way to start. Fantastic racing up and down the grid. Can't wait to see more.
It's going to be fantastic, I think, out on track. So that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. And until, well, tomorrow night, it is Division 4 and Division 5. Of course, Grim Chapel and Callboy taking you through Division 4. Hopefully complete with graphics. Division 5 is myself and one Daniel Hoggard, QVR Dakar, going to be joining me in the commentary box for that one. It's going to be a fascinating night of action once again in TTML. There's no CRC on Saturday, so it means we are off pretty much on the streams for Saturday. But thank you so much for tuning in. I've been James Head. He's been Ivory Mike. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, goodbye.